Well, good morning. It is Thursday, February 25th, or Friday Eve, as the WKYC morning crew likes to call it. I'm Danielle Wiggins with your 3 News Now morning update. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on the WKYC social media pages. Remember, because this is all online, feel free to share your thoughts on the stories covered in this edition of 3 News Now. Just yesterday, we had Chuck Bonici joining us and letting us know how much he wanted a couple extra weeks of cold and snow. Well, Chuck, first let me know if I pronounced your name correctly, your last name. And Chuck, I'm not sure if the rest of us here in Northeast Ohio agree. Maybe some do. But as always, you can join the conversation in the comments section. So let me know your name and where you're watching from. And speaking of the weather, Hollie Strano is tracking some rain and warmer temperatures heading our way.
Thank you, Danielle. And as we look towards this evening and transitioning into our Friday, a warm front pushing through the region. So yes, it's cooler today, and what'll happen as we see that front pass is our numbers are going to get a nice lift as we head into tomorrow and the weekend. That being said, once we get into Saturday, we're going to be looking at rain chances early in the day, not snow. Notice the showers for Saturday morning, and it will just be limited to the first part of the day. So if you're thinking about, wanting to enjoy the mild weather and get outside, absolutely, there's going to be an opportunity for that. In the meantime, your Thursday forecast is cooler. Hey, at least we're talking some sunshine today, partly to mostly sunny skies and mid-30s for highs. Normal is 40, so we're not too far off, and then we'll make up for it again. 47 tomorrow. What a Friday. Lots of sunshine, and then 50 with those rain showers Saturday morning. 54 on Sunday with rain chances later in the day. And then as we get into March, Monday, March the 1st, it's back to more seasonal weather with temperatures close to 40 in the low to mid 40s Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
Thank you, Holly. Love that 54 on Sunday. Alrighty, we're tracking some developing news today. So here's a look at a vacant building in Elyria that is currently being demolished after it was ravaged by a massive fire overnight. This all happened on Kirkstetter Way near Broad Street. Officials tell us that the building where the fire originated used to house several nightclubs. The building spans an entire city block. So far, no injuries have been reported. Neighbors tell us this is a personal loss for them, as this is where they live some of their best nights.
It's sad. It's an old building. It's been falling down for quite some time, but it's sad to see it go. You see, anytime you see something that was a big part of your life, it kind of takes away from you a little emotionally,
The building is known by many as the Uncle Vic Building after a former popular DJ in the area. Many of you familiar with it are also sharing your memories on our social media pages. We're reading all of your comments and can see that the memories this building created are very special to all of you. So thank you for sharing. Now turning to the impact of the pandemic, it has caused a great burden to many of us, but recent numbers show that working moms have been impacted the most. Nearly 5 million women lost jobs in the last year. Another 2.5 million left the workforce, while countless more women work night and day to keep their jobs and families afloat. We continue our Mother Lode series, and as Sarah Shookman finds, it's a national picture that comes into focus anywhere you look in Northeast Ohio.
What are we going to do?
No one's giving us a break.
Your village kind of disappears.
I just was spending more hours at work and less time with my child.
These are 4 Northeast Ohio women sharing the weight felt by millions more. The Mother Lode has gotten too heavy to carry.
It's just so much, and a lot of us are still at our breaking point.
The coronavirus pandemic tipped the scales, piling on household responsibilities while pulling away outside support. Whether they work outside the home or not, moms are more likely to take care of the house and the kids, which in the past year meant no daycare and remote learning.
The strain and the stress of doing 2 things at the same time all the time was just unbearable.
And then Laurel lost her job.
I was laid off at the end of August, and I was a top performer.
Hers became one of 4.6 million jobs women have lost since COVID hit, and the pattern continues. In January alone, 4 times as many women as men lost their jobs.
Single mom guilt is riding high all the time.
Jamie felt stuck too as a single mom working extra hours on the front line running a long-term care center. She's one of thousands of moms forced to take a step back financially to provide physically for her 4-year-old daughter.
I decided that, it was too much. And so I decided to take a step down and go do marketing in an independent living community. The ramifications of that have been rather challenging because it's a huge change in income. Huge.
Ashley has 4 boys at home and 350 boys and girls at Ohio College Preparatory School in Maple Heights, where she's the principal.
My school is running 3 different learning options right now.
While she's at school juggling the needs of her students, she's also consulting parents figuring it out at home.
Why do you feel like moms ended up being the shock absorbers, the ones that kind of had to figure it out for everybody?
To be honest, I think historically, society always leans on moms.
Rena runs her own PR firm. With clients in crisis, her daycare's closed, and no family in the area, she put a desk in the attic and took on full-time care of her 2 toddlers.
We shouldn't have to choose between our children and our work, right? It shouldn't have to be one or the other. And I think that the fact that so many folks have even had that question, that should give us all pause.
These moms say something's got to give. It's not just burnout. Psychiatrists call it societal betrayal. The deck is stacked against these women, being asked to work as if they have no children and raise children as if they do not work.
Whatever I was thinking and whatever I was going through was parallel with probably every other mom in the United States.
I felt that what they were asking of any one individual was just insurmountable.
The question now is, where do we go from here? And who can help lighten the load?
The options that we're given, both options are not acceptable.
Well, Sarah, thank you. And now to the latest COVID-19 numbers in our state. New cases are down more than 900 from yesterday and more than 1,000 below our 21-day average. The state reported 1,842 new cases Wednesday, but unfortunately, 77 more Ohioans lost their lives due to COVID-19 complications. And we've heard how effective masks are when it comes to blocking the virus. And yes, we know they could be a bit uncomfortable. But a new study from scientists at university hospitals shows wearing them doesn't really impact your heart rate. Laura Queso has a message from the doctor in charge.
Scientists and doctors say masks have power in the pandemic. And a new study from university hospitals shows both cloth and surgical masks do not restrict oxygen from entering the body.
I noticed months ago that people were resistant to wear masks, and that one of the reasons that some people cited is that they felt that they wouldn't be able to get enough oxygen into their body and carbon dioxide out of their body.
So Dr. Stephen Shine made this video. He's wearing a sensor that measures oxygen and carbon dioxide levels in the body. It gained traction on Facebook, so he took the study to UH. Scientists studied heart rate, carbon dioxide tension, and oxygen levels in 50 volunteers after 10 minutes of various stages of physical activity with and without a mask. 32% of the participants consider themselves to have asthma.
And what we found, not surprising, was that oxygen levels stayed the same and carbon dioxide levels stayed the same, and not a single subject in the entire study had a significant drop in their oxygen or rise in their carbon dioxide level.
The news comes after the Biden administration announced it will deliver more than 25 million cloth masks to communities around the country to provide protection for underserved Americans. The masks will be available in March through community health centers and soup kitchens. Dr. Shine hopes his study gives those hesitant to wear masks peace of mind.
For right now, one of the best defenses that we have from spreading the virus, even unknowingly amongst ourselves, is for all of us to wear masks for our own protection and for protection of those around us.
Laura, thank you. And we know the pandemic has hit restaurants and bars particularly hard. But think about it. As their business models have changed, it's also greatly affected local musicians who rely on those venues for their work. That's why a mix of local musicians have banded together to raise money for local venues. They've collaborated on a song called When the Lights Come On Again. Here's a clip.
When the lights come on again. When the lights come on again.
The rights to the song itself and distribution will be given to the nonprofit Cleveland Rocks. They hope the song gets Ohioans to donate to the Save Cleve Venues Fund, which will benefit struggling independent live music venues in the greater Cleveland area. According to their website, the goal is to raise $10,000. We have the information on how you can help out at the bottom of your screen. And switching gears and flippers to news out of Medina. Firefighters had their hands full yesterday rescuing turtles. Yep, you see them on your screen there. Crews pulled out about 10 turtles, including 2 large tortoises, from a smoke-filled shed and gave them oxygen through specially designed animal masks. Sadly, several smaller turtles did not make it. Firefighters think a heating element in the insulated shed started the fire. Okay, well, it's time for the segment we like to call the best news you'll hear all day. The first egg is here, so we're talking about the Avon Eagles, of course. The 2 lovebirds, Stars and Stripes in Avon Lake, have laid their first egg. Here's a look at the eagle's nest from this morning. So this nest, which is outside of Redwood Elementary, is an annual favorite for people to watch. Last year, 3 eggs were laid, so we'll have to see if more are to follow. It takes about 35 days for eagle eggs to hatch. We have a link to the live stream posted on our webpage, WKYC.com, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. Meanwhile, in Little Italy, we are one step closer to getting a statue honoring Indians legend Iraqi Calavito. Cuyahoga County Council approved the last $70,000 that the Italian American Brotherhood Club needed. The funds come from casino taxes. And right now, the plan is to unveil the statue during the Feast of the Assumption this summer. The statue will go in Tony Brush Park. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Our digital team will continue to bring you the stories making headlines around Northeast Ohio and beyond. Make sure you continue to check our social media pages and WKYC.com throughout the day. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on Go, starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great day.